You want to play a little bit more?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I have it up. Actually, I have it right here. So let me
Let's
play
get
another
one.
good. Let me play another good spot where he speaks. We'll talk about it at the other end right here.
A tactical position out of it. If Black workers have more in common with the big capitalists because they claim to be woke than they do with a poor white worker, then what is Black liberation? How do you define Black liberation then?
Did he just blow your mind? He blew your mind right there, huh? Did he blow your mind right there?
I was saying, to be clear, but I was saying shit because it's not like necessarily my mind being blown. It's just the ideology of the liberal class being just fucking, and I would say the boutique left as well. That's who he's critiquing as well.
Yeah, that's who he's critiquing.
Is being dismantled. Like I'm just in awe at how easily he's dismantling the ideology of the people that we've been going after, CJ. Like this is the
exactly
boutique left that we have been calling out on this show, right? We've been blacklisted by a lot of people for doing it, but it had to be said.
It had to be said, and I don't mind. It was a righteous cause, and as we lose people because of a righteous cause, and I'm fine with that. But I rewind it back just a little bit so you can hear the whole context.
Black people have less in common, Black workers have less in common with white workers than they do with the...
Hang on 1 second. That point there.
And that's Aristotle on up, It's only in the Anglo-American world, and especially the United States, that politics gets reduced to elections. So if you separate genuine politics from elections, now that doesn't mean that on occasion or in certain circumstances, certain people run for office. But that should not be the whole thing of the left.
We say that all the time.
Should be identified with its ideas. And, we play the long game. And nothing is more powerful than ideas whose time has come. And I think, set aside this fake left, this celebrity left, this cable news left, this left that is more comfortable, would you say Goldman Sachs or...
He's literally talking about the people with MSNBC contracts. Like Sam Peter, for example, by the way. But go ahead. I don't want to interrupt too
much. This whole interview is great. That's why I know you probably, because I was sending, if the audience don't know, I was sending the time codes in the DM that we share. You was probably like, what the hell is this motherfucker?
Yo, if you watching this, hit this boy up and say RBN want to interview this man right now.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna reach out to Danny and see if we can get an interview with him. But listen to the rest of this right here.
Really the military-industrial complex than they are with the working class. And I have evidence of that, by the way. I don't know, we could call names and identify people, but there are people who actually say that Black people have less in common, Black workers have less in common with white workers than they do with the 0.1%. That the woke capitalists, among them, Joe Biden and so on, are more favorable to Black folk than the working class. Well, besides the fact that it's a distortion, I think it is so limited and narrow in its perspective that you can't develop a tactical position out of it. If Black workers have more in common with the big capitalists because they claim to be woke than they do with a poor white worker, then what is Black liberation?
Right. So I want to discuss this point, and he makes a good point. Like, how are we going to strategize when people on the team are capitalists, or these people that's on that side? It makes it hard to have a strategic plan. He's pointing out it makes it hard to have a strategic plan if we're teaming up with the boutique left.
It's a shame, CJ, that, and this is very important that he had to say this, right? It's very important that we come on these shows and we have to explain why it's a horrific idea to join a violent capitalist imperialist institution like the Democratic Party. But we have to say it. Like Anthony here has to break down why it's ridiculous to be a worker movement and join hands with the capitalists. Like these are very simple concepts. Guys, whose side do you think the capitalist is on? Do you think they're fighting for worker power? Like when these progressives tell you guys, oh, we can put Joe Biden, the senator who literally was a shield for the credit card companies for 40 years, the one who literally created student loan debt. Well, I wouldn't say he created. That's me misspeaking. I would say he amplified the problem.
Absolutely did.
He amplified the problem, amplified the prison industrial complex as we know it. But then people were saying, oh, if we just wish hard enough, if we believe in the power of friendship, we can push Biden to the left. And I think this is revolutionary, undisciplined. That I'm doing more research. I think this shit is on purpose. Like, and I told you guys I had a lot of thoughts on like Bernie and how. And I remember back at the time I used to think like, yo, this is good. This is a good idea to at least get people revolutionized and radicalize people. But what has been the end result of Bernie's movement, guys? Like we're being driven down a corporate police state where a bunch of leftists are joining the CIA and the Democratic Party regularly. So now there have been a lot of talks about how there have been a lot of anti-communist psyops that was waged during the Cold War to prop up organizations like DSA, to prop up ideas like Social Democrat and democratic socialism, which is anti-communism. And they plant these organizations, these groups like DSA. They plant people like Justice Democrats, AOCs, to sell and promote the idea of socialism and anti-capitalism, but then be like, okay, these capitalists are our allies. And I'm doing more research. I have a lot of friends, a lot of my people to my left, a lot of my friends on the left that are telling me like, bro, a lot of these democratic socialists, a lot of these social democrats, you know, these people that say I'm anti-capitalist, but I don't like communism. That shit was a psyop because they saw the American communist movement growing. So they had to counteract that. And they had capitalists that was like, okay, I have criticism of capitalism, but I don't want to call myself communist, so I'm gonna call myself a democratic socialist. And these people funnel people who otherwise are anti-capitalist to the capitalist Democratic Party. Honestly, guys, if they didn't do that, I wouldn't mind their existence because I don't mind people who are a little bit to my right. The same way there are a lot of people to my left, right? But I realized recently that their goal is to shift people away from a true democratic system, a true dictatorship, which is the Marxist-Leninist ideology that we talk about. They move people away from that, demonize those people as tankies, demonize them people as being fringe outside the box, outside the Overton window, while at the same time they would say shit like Jim Crow Joe is my friend. This is when I started to realize like, oh shit, this is what this guy is saying. Not only are these people misled, like I thought these people may be useful idiots, they were actually doing unbelievable damage